beautiful people. My name is Shamaria Flora. I'm an astrologer and also an intuitive healer. If you're interested in any of my services, DM me. I came out here to talk about polyamory and some lessons that I've learned. I've been practicing polyamory actively since I was 17. I was in a long-term, well, my intentions were long-term. I was in a relationship when I was 16, and at 16, I really want to say at 15, but definitely at 16, I knew that I was polyamorous by nature, and I was dating this guy. For some reason, he didn't really understand the concept of polyamory, or maybe he just got off on lying and cheating and manipulating. Who knows? But anyway, I was in a little relationship or whatever. He was my first boyfriend. I had dated a woman prior to that, but that's another story for another day. And I vocalized to him, I'm polyamorous, I'm open to polyamory, I'm open to practicing polyamory with you. And while he said he understood, he still then went and cheated on me. And it hurt me. I felt betrayed, just because it wasn't necessary. Like, it really wasn't fucking necessary, especially after vocalizing that I'm okay with you being free. I'm okay with you seeing other people, developing different forms of intimacy with other people. I'm okay with that. So ever since then, ever since that relationship at 16, after that, I started actively practicing polyamory, and I wouldn't settle for anything less. Anything that threatened, anything or anybody that threatened my freedom has to go. Anything that threatened my autonomy has to go. So, yeah, after that, at 17, started actively practicing polyamory. Every relationship after that was a polyamorous relationship. But one thing that I've learned is, for one, and I'm only speaking from my experiences. My experience may not be your experience. I can only speak from my own truth. These are my truths. These are my reality. This is my reality, excuse me. But you may have a completely different experience. Or polyamory might not work for you altogether. You might be monogamous by nature, or just want to do your own thing and bask in your solitude, and that's okay. But one thing that I've learned is, for one, jealousy is a natural emotion, just as every other emotion or feeling. Experience it, express it in healthy ways, and release it, or work towards releasing it. But one thing that has helped me deal with my jealousy, because I do get jealous. I am a Scorpio. I have my moon in the 8th house. I'm not going to tell you all my placements, but I do have a very Plutonian vibe at times, and I do tend to get jealous. And yes, a lot of that feeling of jealousy does stem from insecurity for me. Feeling that my partner might leave me for someone else, or feeling like my partner might be loved on better than I can give them, So I get jealousy. One thing that helps me with dealing with jealousy is validation, expressing to my partner when and if I need a little extra validation, or, expressing to him, like, not him, I'm actually dating a woman, expressing to them, like, hey, this makes me jealous. This is how I feel. I know it might not seem logical, but this is how I feel, and this is how I possibly think that I can overcome this, whatever. Just being open with your partner, being open, being willing to be vulnerable, that could also help with jealousy or overcoming jealousy. But I don't really think there's ever going to be a time where I don't get jealous. It's just learning how to manage it and learning how to feel through your emotions, and realizing that your emotions come and go. It's a cycle, feel what you feel, release it. Feel what you feel, release it, but don't stay stuck in that place. So that's one thing. Number two, another thing that I've learned while practicing polyamory is While it is very much possible, it is not ideal to practice polyamory if you do not have your own shit, or if you're not self-reliant. If you don't know how to get back and forth with or without a car to wherever your destination is, you know, if you're gonna go see this lover today, and then this lover that lives 30 minutes away, and then this lover that lives 2 hours away, and then this lover that's in a whole nother fucking state, you know, if you're not able to make those adjustments and make those adjustments accordingly by yourself or with little to no assistance, and I mean, of course, don't get me wrong now, my lovers, the people that I've dated over time, they have been very supportive in terms of like transportation or finding a spot to chill, you know, whether you want to go on a date out somewhere or staying at home, whatever. And shit happens, life happens. That's another thing too, being able to be flexible. But back to the being self-reliant. If you're not willing to invest in Ubers, you know, setting aside money for dates, setting aside money for gifts, because on one hand, if you have multiple lovers, that means you're getting twice the amount of gifts, right? At least. But that goes both ways. You know, say for instance, it's Valentine's Day or it's your lover's birthday, and both of your lovers have birthdays back to back. That means you also have to invest in things like that too, depending on your dynamic or if that is even an agreement to, you know, exchange gifts and things like that. So just being practical and being able to be fully independent, that is a very big thing. One more thing that I've learned is the power of communication, and also how easily communication can get fumbled and can cause confusion if you are not able to communicate effectively, okay? Or shit at all. Some people who practice polyamory, they want to have multiple lovers and have these different experiences, but they're not always the best at communicating. You have to be able to communicate and communicate clearly when practicing polyamory. And I know a lot of these things have been said, but if more than one person has been saying this shit, it has to be true to a certain extent. Again, my reality is not your reality. My experience is not your experience, but I'm only speaking my truth. And these are my lessons. So yes, jealousy again, making sure that you're self-reliant, and communication. Those have been one of the biggest lessons and repeated lessons that I have learned and that I'm currently still learning, because everything changes, everything evolves. You know, we're constantly going through cycles, and that's okay. So congratulations if you are polyamorous, or if you've accepted the fact that you're polyamorous. Cheers to you on this journey. I hope that it is filled with abundance and pleasure. I love you guys. If you have any more questions about polyamory, let me know. I am currently in the process of transitioning with my family. We have a lot going on right now. If I seem kind of shambled, but I wanted to make more videos and make them when I'm actually in the mood, because I feel like they hit different. Even though I got all this shit in the background that y'all may or may not be able to see, this knowledge still applies. So I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Peace.